So I'm in the bathroom recording this video. The lighting is better in here. But anyway, real quick, I want to talk about, I know I haven't recorded a video in a while, so I want to talk about entrepreneurship and the journey. Some of you guys out there thinking about becoming your own boss, and you're going back and forth on it. How I'm going to pay these bills. I got these kids. My girl's pregnant, or she wants to have a baby. Those are some tough decisions. Me personally, I don't have any kids of my own. So even with that factor there, when it was time for me to go and leave that 9 to 5 and becoming my own boss, it wasn't really a decision that I was able to make on my own, and I'm gonna tell you why. I started working a government job very early on, so I got really blessed and lucky with that. I learned a lot of skills while I was on that job, and I truly believe that God set me up in that environment so I could learn a lot. So basically, to prepare me for who I am today. Now, 12 years passed. On my 11th year, I started getting into, maybe a little earlier than the 11th year, maybe around my 8th or 9th year. It took like about 3 years of self-awareness and self-analysis and a lot of research and a lot of reading about what my calling was before I would say I was forced into making that decision to become my own boss. And it got to a point that it was so bad that I would get physically ill. I mean, like I'd pull into the parking lot and I'd get physically ill, like I'm gonna throw up. If I get out this car, I wouldn't even make it to the building because I would have passed out. I swear to God, I would not lie about that. I got so physically ill of hating to clock in that I had to make a decision. And I called my mom to have that discussion with her, and she was like, baby, that government job, I don't know. Now, mind you, if you know me personally, you'll know that both of my parents are both entrepreneurs. So the fact that my mom was telling me that, I know she was just worried whether or not I got what it took to actually endure what I was about to endure in the next upcoming years. So 12 years into the government job, I couldn't even get go in there and clock in that day. So I called out. I went home, went back to bed, and my mind just kept saying, it's time to quit. And I'm not a quitter. But my mind, my heart, my spirit, everything was like, it's time to go. You cannot work another day. And so I put my letter together. I turned that in. I had some time left, sick time, vacation time. I took all of it at the same time, something like 3 weeks or something. And then turned in my uniform, and that was it. I was on my own. And I'm telling you this story to let you know that sometimes, you have no choice. It's just what it is. I mean, some jobs, you'll end up getting fired from them because it's time for you to go. But, most people don't get that part. They'll be back in the unemployment line and trying to look for another job. But meanwhile, what the universe is telling you is you need to get up out of somebody's clock, get your shit together. But we're not getting that message. So anyway, I'm not talking about the courage to quit what you're doing right now, because everybody's situation is different. But what I do want to talk about is getting involved while you're on that journey. A lot of people want to be part of you trying to get your shit together. You are everywhere, so they want to be riding with you and looking cute whatsoever. But the truth about dating, and that goes for men or women, the truth about dating and being in a relationship is that it takes a certain type of person to really get what it takes to be the partner of an entrepreneur. Most people don't get that. We go through the withdrawal syndrome where we just don't want to be bothered. And if you have a selfish one, those individuals, they don't get it. So, they'll be looking for attention elsewhere, probably cheat on you, lie, doing all kinds of deceitful stuff, and, making you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But the thing about entrepreneurship is sometimes we become spiritually, mentally, and physically unavailable. And people don't get that. Now, some people will wait till after they got all their ducks in a row and, possibly hook up with someone. But the thing about that is, when you're up there and you making the big money and you're everywhere, it's really hard to date anybody because you don't really know why they're riding with you. If something was to happen, you lose everything you got, how you know they'll still be there? So damn if you do, damn if you don't. So you asking me, what's the best way to fix that problem? Well, the best way to fix that issue is to know yourself. When you know yourself and you always listen to that inner voice that you've gotten to the habit of listening to, you listen to it when it was time to walk away from that deadbeat job. You listen to it when they told you that friend was no good. You listen to it when they said, do that client right, they'll take care of you. And they always fell through. And you know that voice inside of you, know what the hell it's talking about. Once you're at that level where you have this brain and this heart and they're working together in sync and that spiritualness about you is on point, once you're at that level, you can actually date, you can actually be in a relationship because that inner voice will keep you in tune. It will actually be your freaking bodyguard when you're not around. It will take care of your business you don't even know exists. And, not disclosing my own personal affairs, but what I will tell you is that voice never failed me. And the only reason that voice exists is because I had to learn to know me. And once I knew me, that voice protected me. Now, to me personally, I think that it's awesome to have somebody to do the journey. If that's your desire, if that's not your desire, then good for you. I think a team is better than one, but that's just my personal belief. That's how I saw my parents do it, and it worked for them, and that's my intention for my own self. But in closing, learn who you are. Understand you. Once you understand you and you listen to that inner voice inside of you, everything else will fall into place. But that's my word for today. I know I haven't done a video in a while. I hope I was able to help somebody. Feedback, comment. If you can't do either one, click the like button, share with somebody. Thanks for watching.